What is up, people? Today we got some funky stuff going on. So, have you guys heard about this Hawk Tua woman that that scammed a bunch of people today or yesterday? That is so funny. That is so funny. Hawk Tua coin. Let's check that out. Oh my gosh, this is so freaking funny. This Hawk Tua meme coin. Do you know about that one? Do you know about all this stuff that just happened? I just made a video about it. And comes to find out that this woman pumped a 500 million market cap coin, and all of a sudden, rug pulled everybody. And now, Berwick Law is join us for a live stream introduction to Berwick Law, and we'll discuss the meme coin and its connection to the Hawk Tua so you can get money. And I just made a video about it. It's like it's gonna take time for people to kind of set up get get situated, and then they're gonna sue. So it didn't take long. Didn't take long. Took about 24 hours, and people are ready to sue. Where are you guys from? Where is everybody from? Where are you guys from? Hey, Sandy, how's it going? How's life treating you? How's life going? Let's see here. Can I see? So, how's the job thing looking? Did you get any? Did they send you an offer yet? Yes? No? Did they send you something? Or no? Not yet. But this is just pretty good. Just so, yeah, everybody's just celebrating the holidays. That's good. That is good. That is really good. So check this out. Not yet. Ooh, we gotta work on that. So check this out. This is Berwick Law on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And they already said, here we go. You scroll down a little bit. Where is it? Scroll down a little bit. Here we go. We'll discuss the meme coin Hawk Tua and its connection to the Hawk Tua meme. So somebody needs to lawyer up. This lady in LA needs to be lawyering up. This is just crazy. These people nowadays just do crazier and crazier stuff. Just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Where's everybody from? What's everybody doing? Yeah. It's only, what is today? Thursday, December 5th. Yeah. Yeah. No questions, nothing? Come on, you guys got something, right? Let's get some anything for money. Of course, that's how it goes. Did who would buy that though? Who would buy an investment like that? Mr. Even High. Who would buy something like that though? Who would go out and buy a meme coin? And there were people that invested like $1.4 million, and now they walked away with $46,000. Who would do that? Like, who would literally do that? Like, seriously, I just don't know who would come up with that idea. I'd be like, no, let's just hang out, wait a few days, see what happens. Because one thing I always say in my YouTube videos, you rather miss on an opportunity than take one that's going to cost you way more in the long run, right? Because you can sit back about the tariffs. Which ones? The one for Mexico or Canada? The one for Mexico or Canada? Or the one from China for 100%? I don't know. The one from China, I think, is going to be would be the ones that would affect us the most, because that's raw materials, right? That would then manufacturing be be more expensive and everything else. So yeah, the China one, that's like 100%. But it's gonna be all right. Whatever they kind of negotiate on, Sometimes they just say, "Oh, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this," and behind back doors, they always are talking, chit chatting, figuring out stuff. And I wouldn't be worried about it too much. It's all about fear mongering. It's all about trying to keep the tension going. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely money. Absolutely just all about the money. Big. Yeah. Yeah. I think China would affect us the most. Yeah. But then China does a bunch of imports a bunch of like soybeans and all that kind of stuff, so it will hurt them too. So trade wars are never like a good thing for both sides. It's just like I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. Then they come to negotiation table, they figure something out. Most of the time, it's just a little a little tit for tat till they try to negotiate. Then not that worried. Not too worried. I'm more worried about people not making a living that can't find jobs. That's what I'm like. Because if you have a job, you're doing good. It's way you're like I can pay a little bit extra. But if you have no money, no job, and then you invest into a meme coin and lose it all, and you were hoping to like 2x it or kind of make a decent income from it, and then you lost it all. That's way worse. So I'm not that worried about the tariffs anyway. Hey Rika, Jim from Cape Coral. How's it going? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, Cape Coral, that's another place, huh? Man. When I was down there, I don't think I'm gonna go back there, you know? It was just there was so much devastation, shops were closed, it's when I was there, it was like the glory days. When I lived in Southwest Florida, man, shops were popping. Everything was like people had money. The boats on Lake Okeechobee, there were just boats everywhere. And now I was there for 2 weeks and just dead. It's just for lease, for rent. I'm leaving. I'm leaving in December. I'm trying to put up my house now. I'm trying to repair it. And people are messaging me, how's Vegas? Because I'm looking for a place to move to. I can't afford it anymore. I can't, insurance gets too high. It's bad right now. Lots of foreclosures. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. It's so sad when you think about how gorgeous of a place that used to be, and now it's just like then they all have septic tanks, so the sea level rises, and then you have all these canals. Man, I used to fish back from these canals. Sandy, do you like my video, Subway? Thanks. Yeah. Man, my neighbor used to eat crabs from those canals in that area, and now it's so over flooded and just the water's so bad that I remember my neighbor across the street used to dump paint buckets into the into these little canals because he was a painter, and it's like, oh, just get rid of it. And so, yeah, Florida needs to really crack down on environmental stuff. They really need to crack the hammer and say, hey, if you do that and somebody catches you on a video, $10,000 fine. Yeah, Subway. Subway's another funny brand, right? And I was thinking about doing one for Pizza Hut because Pizza Hut let's rebrand. I just saw this today on the news. Like, pizza, we're gonna rebrand. It's like, why don't you focus on making better pizzas? Then just let's add some drive-throughs and revamp our kitchen so people can see how we make the pizza. Who wants to see that? Sometimes I just think, how do you come up with that? This is the least productive thing you can ever do. Instead of coming up with something smart and saying, you know what, we're gonna focus on making the best pizza possible, they come up with a group session and be like, what should we do? I know it. Let's have a kitchen where people can see how we make the pizza and do drive-throughs. How's that going to do anything? How and what to invest in? What do you think you should invest in? How much pizza was going a long time ago? Yeah. Yeah, a long time ago. Yep. I think they're all just life cycles. All these fast food chains, they're all just the end of their life cycle, and then either somebody needs to come and kind of redo it, or they need to hire a better CEO. But these CEOs, they don't care. So when I used to be like 10 years ago, where I used to be like younger, they said the CEO is the most important person in the room. And all of a sudden, They shot the healthcare CEO, right? And the company's still working today. So the CEO is not the most important person in the room. It's the person that does the day-to-day operations. So Starbucks is declining bad. Yeah, Starbucks is another failed conglomerate, right? I'm gonna do a follow-up video on that actually. Yeah, what to invest in? Any ideas? You know, everything's overpriced. Warren Buffett invested into Domino's. You got to look into that. I don't know why he invested, but yeah, Warren Buffett invested into like hundreds of millions, and I don't know why he purchased so much Domino's. But you need to check into that. Yeah, Domino's Pizza stock gained after. Yeah, so even yeah. I think he did. Yes, Warren Buffett purchased a large stake in Domino's Pizza in the third quarter of 2024. Berkshire Hathaway acquired 1.3 million shares of Domino's Pizza. Stock gained a lot of attention recently after it was added to Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio of stock holdings. While investors love to follow Warren Buffett's moves, it likely wasn't his stock pick given the reality of the small size of the purchase. So I don't know, you know. But some people say it wasn't him. Some people say it was. Bitcoin 100,000. I know. Did you see the rug pull? Did you see the rug pull of Haley Welsh? You Dutch? No, I'm Swiss. Swiss made, baby. Domino's is actually pretty good. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. Yeah, I think it's location dependent. You know, Domino's in Switzerland is like top notch. It is like really good. Domino's in the US is like the ones that I've had at least is like, oh, okay. I think anything yeah is a great investment right now. Yeah, till except Nvidia. I would not touch Nvidia. Just personal opinion, not financial advice. Warren Buffett owns Champion Mobile Homes, the cheapest ones with the most problems. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But see, when you have it's not in the stock market isn't necessarily about the best product. It's about what the rate on return on the money and all that other stuff on the financials, on the growth of what they can do. It's not necessarily based off of the consumer, right? Because you might think, oh, it's absolute garbage, but there's potential, right? And sometimes they say, hey, you know, the potential's there, so let's just pile up on it and move on it. So we'll see. Because I think when Warren Buffett goes in, he brings his own team in it, and I don't know, Champion Mobile Homes. How long has Warren Buffett owned that? Let me pull that up. How long has Warren Champion Mobile Homes? Let's see. Yeah, in 2003, as of 24, Champion has owned for 21 years. Yeah, yeah, he still owned it. He still owns it. Yeah, crazy, crazy. He's still part owner in it, so there must be something. You know, sometimes when you buy stuff, you buy it because the paper looks good, right? On paper, the company's producing money, so it's good. It's good. Yeah. So what else is going on with you guys? What else is going on? Because I don't think that Starbucks is trying to turn stuff around. They said they're gonna price hike next year, so I think we'll see what that's gonna happen. But yeah, now we're gonna see the fall of Pizza Hut and some other company. And it's interesting when I did the Subway research for the other day. I looked at it and I saw that it wasn't Ike, it was Jersey Mike's or something that Blackstone heavily invested into that company. So it's always these huge companies, these investment Wall Street companies that invest and then they kind of just leave. Dollar Store just fired their CEOs. Are you serious? Yeah, these CEOs are falling like dominoes. Yeah. The funny thing is that Dollar Store is normally like a few years ago, people have always been telling me that if there's a recession, dollar stores and all these other places are gonna be booming and the stock's gonna go. Yeah, Dollar Store announced its resignation of chief financial officer 10 hours ago. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. They're dropping like flies because those stores should technically make the most amount of money because people are strapped for cash, but then nothing's a dollar anymore. So it's just the name. And it's basically when you go to Walmart, you get a way better deal than you can get at the dollar store. Yeah, Target is also not having a good day. Target stock has been, I think it's like in the last year to date, 10%, 6 month, 12%. Year to date, it's 9. Let's see, the 1 year, 2%. 5 years still up. So, man, that's not good. That is not good. Now, when you have companies like that, it's just not good. When especially when you get to pull out of San Francisco, you pull out of all these great locations. You pull out of these huge traffic tourist attraction places, and then you're like, hey, we're done. It's like you can't let theft and everything keep going on. Why haven't you seen it collapse despite mass layoff? What define mass layoffs? So what's a mass layoff? And elaborate on collapse. Like, so when we talk about mass layoffs, we're talking about 5 to 10%, and not just in the whole market. Like the whole United States, there's the people that get laid off, they can get another job. It's just that that job doesn't pay. So you can swap one job for another one, and you can get two other jobs on top of that. So you have three jobs that just don't pay well. And so a lot of people still have assets. So the collapse, like technically, like so to speak, collapse can only really come when everybody has nothing to lose. And as long as you have houses, cars, all this other crazy stuff that you're feared of losing, then there will be a collapse. If you run out of credit card, you're going to be homeless, and a whole bunch of people can't pay their bills, so they're going to re-foreclose, and they're going to kick you out, evict you, you lose your car, and everything else, and then all of a sudden there's going to be a collapse. But as long as people got credit, people have all this other stuff, and they still got a huge equity in their houses, why would there be a collapse? You just pull money out of your house, or you just take out another credit card and live off of that. Be interesting to see if retail sales make it for Christmas. I think there'll be a lot of inventory left over. Yeah, I'm not buying any Christmas gifts. When you think we'll pull back? It's funny when you say that, like the pullback in the stock market, because it's so brutal. So many people are invested in it, so they halt trading if it drops too much, right? So pullback, I don't know. I have no idea. If I could tell you, we'd be making millions of dollars. I'm also heard unemployment went up again. Yeah, it's just that those unemployment numbers don't mean anything anymore, because you can be. I know people that have been employed for 16 months, and they're not in any statistics, right? As soon as you're out of the unemployment office, and you're like, "Hey, you've been in here for too long, get out," and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you've been, so to speak, unemployed, or you got some other partial employment, and you're done." So this all is just once they figured out after, like, I feel like after 2008 they just started massaging all the numbers. Jobs in Florida really suck. County, state, and federal is the way to go. Yeah, till now Elon Musk and now they're gonna get everybody from the federal government back into office 5 days a week. Why no collapse despite layoff? So the collapse, like define collapse. What's a collapse? Look at Detroit. Look at some cities from West Virginia. Like look at some cities. Look at San Francisco. Is that considered a collapse? Look at when you walk downtown San Francisco, all the stores are gone. Look at some downtown areas in U.S. cities. It's collapsed. It's like lawlessness. There's like no laws. You can do whatever you want. Even like in Portland, there's like no laws. You can just walk through it. I watched this guy the other day online where he was driving his little scooter around L.A., downtown L.A. It's like lawless. So what do you mean the collapse? It's the collapse of the inner parts of the city. It already happened. So what are you kind of waiting on? Like the collapse of what? Where everybody has no jobs? No, that'd be really really bad, right? So yeah, it's just brutal when you think about it, right? It's just you gotta. the thing is the you got to get like a federal, yeah, you got to get a job. I don't even necessarily think you need a job like a federal job. I just think you need to have skills that people want. You need to be somebody that a company wants to employ. And I feel like a lot of people that I talk to on a daily basis are just like, I'm gonna stick it to the man. I'm gonna stick it to the man. I always tell them like, you are too small to do that. You're not sitting on the vice president spot where you says, let's stick it to the company. No, you're just one cog in the wheel and you're at the bottom of the barrel. And so you're the one that's the easiest replaceable. So it's like, yeah, it's you gotta fight the real fight and just join it. If you can't beat him, join him, right? What do you think of the sea of United Healthcare? So I'm not surprised it happened. I did a video about that. Like I said, that people on United Healthcare, the CEO, yeah, it's like, look at how people feel about United Healthcare. A 33% denial rate or something on insurance claims. That's absolutely brutal. When you need surgery and you buy insurance and they'll tell you, sorry, you're not covered. It's just like, oh, he didn't read the fine print. And there's a funny story where Allison's grandma was in the hospital, and I asked the nurse, like, why can't you just do whatever you think? Like, why don't we do that? And she said, well, we need to follow protocol. And I said, how so? She's like, well, there's legal stuff. So even though you like, hey, this hurts, let's do surgery, get it out, they might say, oh, we got to do these and these steps that are approved by the hospital in order for you to do that, then to do the surgery, because that's the proper way how they can defend it in court. Why not hard collapses by mass layoffs? It's not enough yet. It's not enough. Not enough layoffs yet. I used to do medical billing, and they were the worst to deal with. Yeah, that's how it is. They use AI. They use everything. They'll come after you if you don't pay them. They come after you. They're rarely approved procedures. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But see, that's a business too. People don't understand. It's like, oh, insurance. Insurance is just another for-profit business, like car sales, like everything else, and they need to make a profit so that CEO. How much did the United CEO make? Probably millions. United Healthcare CEO salary and compensation. Here we go. Yeah, he made $10.2 million. So when you're the CEO and you make $10.2 million, that means that you had to get that from people that paid insurance. And I did that with General Motors. On my other video, I said, how many cars do you need to sell? Does a dealership need to sell just for the CEO's salary? And it was something ridiculous, like 512 cars. That's like 3 salespeople employed full time with no benefits, no salary, just to keep the CEO on. So it's absolutely crazy, these evaluations. Yeah, Blue Cross Anthem Shield, yeah, plus bonuses, yeah, they get stock options, they get all that kind of stuff. And the thing is when people say, oh, they're such assholes, they don't know what they're doing. Of course they don't. They didn't get there by their qualifications. They got there by playing the corporate game. They played what a lot of you guys did not want to do. So rather than just being like, I hate this and I'm gonna, fight the man and be unemployed for 16 months, they said, let me go to the Christmas party, let me shake some hands, let me do this, let me network. It's not even about performance. It's just about, how did you present yourself? Are you somebody that works with you? Because I once met a guy that was super high up at a Swiss bank, and I said, so how does this voting work? How does this voting on the salaries with each other work? He said, you always say yes. Because if you're not going to vote on somebody else's compensation package, they're not going to vote yes on your compensation package. So you basically just say yes so that somebody else also will say yes to you, right? Office politics and everything, unfortunately, yeah, it's everything. Yeah, it's not even about how great you do of a job. It's how much it's how much liked you are, right? It's how much liked you are. You can be the best at your job, but if you are not very well liked, they'll set you up for failure, and all of a sudden you're not going to be there much longer, right? Especially in huge companies. In small companies, if you know what you're doing, They'll love you. They'll treat you good. But in Fortune 50, Fortune 500 companies, you're just, like at Dell, you can't. Even if you're the best sales rep that Dell has, they don't care. They just sell over the internet. They'll run one ad. It just doesn't matter. But when you're a super small salesperson for some steel company, something happened to me. Yeah, yeah. So what happened to you? So yeah, all of a sudden you're like, it's not gonna work out because even though you're the best, they didn't like you for whatever. It could be your skin color, it could be your nose, it could be your ears, it could be the way you talk, it could be how you show up to work, it could be because you drive a nicer car. It has all these things to it. That's just not happening. It's like it's just sad. Like it's that's why I think like when people say, "Oh, it's about they didn't get hired because of racism or ageism," nah, and it has nothing to do with that. They either have a better candidate that likes him better, that says yes to him, or that brought over a better value, or just could communicate their values better. It doesn't have nothing to do with, "Oh, I don't want this person because of that." Never went into an interview and had anything like that happen. I wasn't very liked by the new supervisor and I was pushed out. Yeah, yeah. See, that's another thing. It's like you gotta somehow figure out in your first 30 to 90 days, like office alliances are key, right? So when you're at the when you play the corporate game where you play this, you gotta figure out who's your ally, who can you trust, who can you not trust, and then you gotta, even though you're not going to pick sides, you're going to pick sides, right? When you say I'm not going to associate in gossip, that means you're picking sides, right? So I said that the other day where there's always three responses that somebody can bring, right? So if I gossip with you, there's three responses you can do: positive, negative, or neutral. And on everyone, there's a spectrum, right? So you can be like, okay, yeah, that's fine, right? Or and be like, yeah, he's just talking, and you don't worry about it. You can agree with him, you can slightly agree, you can strongly agree, or you cannot agree and be pissed about it, or you can punch him in the face. What's also on the scale, right, of not liked. And so then there's just these three options. And so you got to position yourself. And not saying anything is also an option that is neutral, right? Yeah, I didn't say anything. So you got to pick and figure out, when do I choose what option? And that's the corporate game, basically, right? When do I say what to when and where? And always make your boss look good. My old supervisor was good to me, but she let me due to conflict. Yeah, yeah. It's like they just do that. They just do that. And some people are so power hungry that they would never admit it openly. And I know people like that always got to be right. That always got to be right, even if they're not. And in politics, it's the same, right? When you go to talk to somebody and you're like, hey, Donald Trump pardoned his family, right? And pardoned all these people. Was horrible, right? Yeah, he shouldn't do that. Well, Biden pardoned his son, so he did it too. Well, this was different because of this, and this. And that's how people justify it. And I'm not saying that one is worse than the other, but people justify it. Yeah, Subway really awful. I make my own bread and eat at home. That's really smart. You gotta save money now. It's like it's not the time to go out and spend stuff. But hey, you can't really beat 6.99, right? I mean, for what the price is worth, it's not bad. I mean, 6.99 for that what I've gotten, especially in the US. I feel like now, anytime you do anything, it's way more than that. If you work harder than everybody else, they give you more money. Working alone. When you work harder than everybody else comes to you to get stuff done while they go and network with other people, and then they let you work, and so you not getting ahead, and then they're gonna get the promotion. No, you always got to be super stressed out, super busy. What do you want? I can't do that for you. No, being self-efficient is key, especially now. Yeah, yeah, and always trying to take credibility for your work. Always, never let anybody else take credibility for you. United CEO could have been saved by his hospital, but they couldn't get prior authorization. Yeah, yeah, his insurance probably got declined. They probably told him like, yeah, you can't do it. And read the comments. A lot of people agree. They said, oh, We could have done this, but yeah, you know, if you're that heavy, if you're that heavy into like that guy made so much money. How did he not have telecommuting where he did a Zoom thing or had like bodyguards? If you if you'd have $10 million in annual compensation package, and yeah, then you just have one or two drivers that have like that bodyguard you, so stuff like that doesn't happen. Yeah, prior authorization is outdated. Yeah, that's what they say all the time. Like we got to get authorization, we got to do this, we got to do that. It's like no, no, just cut it out, just stop it. But yeah, United Healthcare, it's just when you give people that much money, they need to perform at the highest level, and I don't even know what that guy did to get that much money. I'm always amazed by how much these CEOs get paid and what they do. Because most of the time they just sit around and network and go to conferences and give talks and kind of be the face of the company a little bit and just talk. It was fake, never saw his face. Yeah. It was fake, never saw his face. Whose face? The guy, the shooter? It's crazy. Yeah. I'm telling you, this world now that we're living in, productivity is not key. Productivity is not key. You gotta show your value. In a small company, productivity is really key, right? But in a big company, in a Fortune 500 company, if there's 1,000 people, like what company laid off 15,000 people? Was it Intel? They're still functioning. Oh, Tesla laid off 15,000 people. They're still building cars. In my company, I have like 4 employees. If one of them doesn't do their work, I notice right away, right? People are angry at corporate America, crazy people out there. Yeah. CEO's face. Yeah. Never saw his face, you know? That might be true. Hey, if you have that kind of money, you can get away with a lot of stuff. Corporate empire's fallen. You know, somebody told me that, who was that? I had a conversation with somebody. They said in the US, everything can be purchased because we're an economy of purchase, right? You can hire lawyers, you can do this, and then you can, yeah, it was about Cambridge Analytica. Do you guys remember when, where in 2016 in the election, where people said, oh, China or Russia purchased all the data from Facebook, and then they got all this user data, and now they're trying to ban TikTok. And now I was looking at it like they don't have to ban an app to get all that user data. They can just purchase it on the market. You can go through Facebook, you can buy ads, you can influence people that way. You don't need everything's for sale in the US. It's just a matter of how high is the price, and how do you use shell companies over shell companies to then do it. It's just everything's for sale. In corporate America, everything's for sale. Like literally, you can get whatever you want. You can get the most crazy stuff. Yeah. But the problem that corporate gets so lazy that before they think about making more profits would be work harder and sell more products or create more product supply. But they're lazy, yep, and just want to raise prices. Yeah, see the thing with just raising prices is the same thing that McDonald's did, right? So there for your audience that you're selling, there's a sweet spot for a price, right? So let's say you make $60,000-$70,000 here and you go to McDonald's. There is a certain amount of price in here where you're willing to spend on a McDonald's hamburger, right? So let's just say a Big Mac costs $5 and they sell 10 a day, right? And now you double the price, right? And you say, hey, I have less the volume, but I'm still making the same amount. So even if they increase prices and say less of an amount, they still make the same amount of money. So it gets really, really interesting when you think about, hey, I can sell 5 hamburgers at $5, or I can sell 2.5 at 10 and still make the same amount of money, right? And so now you're going to be like, oh, or I could sell 3 of them because 2 customer, I'm too expensive now, but I'm making I'm making actually more money with higher prices. Does that make any sense? When I say it in my head, it does. So, but might have not articulated it good enough. So Zuckerberg is just jealous of TikTok. Yeah, he is. He had the option to buy it. He didn't. Shame on him, right? So now, when you look at these pricing structures, there's going to be a price point where people don't want to pay for Netflix, right? Because at one point Netflix isn't worth it, and there's going to be another platform. So then they're saying, okay, Netflix went from $10 to 20, right? And so is the sweet spot between that price and lower it again? Or do we increase it more and lose some more customers, have better bandwidth, and still make the same amount or not even more money? So when it comes to like business economics, there's like a bunch of stuff you can do. Once you have customers, there's so many stuff, and nobody is better at that than Walmart. Are getting out of hand. Yeah, I know. Streaming services, I mean, the prices are just ridiculous now. And they added into everything now. Oh, get a Verizon cell phone plan. Get this and get that. And they add these streaming services now onto everything. And then, oh, this isn't the plus version. So then you got to do this and you got to do that. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's how they do it though. It's how they do it. They always come up with something. They always have ideas. They always come up with new ways of marketing, and they add new shows and see how it goes. It's just kind of business. It's just how it goes. Because when you think about how it works in the world of tariffs, in the world of just everything around you, you can see like, hey, why do other countries? And I did the video today on Subway. Why is Subway so much better in Switzerland? So much better received. Well, probably they have better products, right? They source their product more locally. So then it comes to the question of why can we source our products more locally to make them better and have more availability, better prices, more competition? Yeah, I'm always saying there's never enough competition because competition brings the price down. And then you have the opportunity to pick and choose who you want to do business with. But when there's only one person that you can do business with, then you got to go with whoever that is, right? And so that's why Google is struggling right now to get their AI platform off the ground. And nobody's doing Google searches. Gen Z was like, we're done. We just use AI to search stuff. We're not even going to use Google. And so what's that going to do to when Gen Z is going to raise kids, right? So then Google's going to be a millennial thing. And everybody's like, oh, like we are with boomers, right? Like, boomers. Is this the pancake channel? Can be, if you're going to make us some. Can be. We can be whatever you're going to do. Yeah, but that's kind of easier, right? Did amor? Is that Italian? Is amor Italian? Sure seems like it. Or is it amar? Amar. Where are you from? So yeah, that's kind of it. That is pretty much it. But yeah, come on live, chat with you guys a little bit, hang out, have fun. Yeah, man. But this meme coin thing, that's gonna be funny as hell. What's gonna happen is that it's gonna be interesting. So December 10th, gotta watch in. I set a reminder now, so I can see what's gonna happen because somebody is gonna pay for all this stuff. Somebody's really gonna pay. So what else you guys got going? What else? What else? Who else is on the live? Who else? Who else? Or then I'm gonna end it and call it a day. Call it. So I'm gonna let it go for another minute. If nobody has any questions, then I've been trying to keep with the decline of Hollywood music industry up. Yeah, it's AI related, right? Everybody does like AI. It's interesting though, right? Industries come and go. It's interesting, really interesting. So what have you been trying to do with Hollywood? What have you been looking at? The actors? The actors? Or what have you been keeping up with? What have you been keeping up with? Let's see. Thanks for the daily videos. Hope it gets exercise, all that walking. You know, I gotta do it. I gotta keep walking. I gotta keep doing it. And yeah, I appreciate you watching. Yeah, I appreciate you watching so much. Yeah, your favorite chef is Mr. So yeah, these layoffs are just crazy. So many people, and it's funny when I talk to these people online about their layoffs. It's always the companies. I can't get a job because they ghost me. It's like I had people message me, anger emails, be like, "You're the problem." It's like, how am I the problem? Then I was like, okay, I'll give you 15, 20 minutes of my time. So I jumped on a call with somebody, and then they said, well, the establishment is out to get me. And it's like, how so? Well, even when I get interviews, they don't, they never invite me again. And it's just because I'm from this country. It's like, no, you look at your attitude. You're entitled. Your entitledness. I don't want to work with you. And so the entitledness is just crazy nowadays. People have this sense of that it's a human right that you making six figures because you were making six figures is a human right. So yeah, that's just absolutely crazy. Anyway, thank you, Sandy. Yeah, I try to keep it applicable to like where I'm at, and I'm like semi-successful, right? I run my own business, and I'm doing fine for myself. And other people, like what I try to tell people is just look at one or two steps. Like ask people for advice that one or two steps ahead. Don't ask like Jeff Bezos how to, like what does it take to build the biggest company? He's so far away from you. You're not gonna do it. In case, yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes companies want to do 4 or 5 interviews. When you have done your fourth interview, they ghost you. Yeah, yeah. They say sometimes they just resume farm, right? They just do their thing, and then they're like, hey, because sometimes, to be 100% honest, sometimes these people need to have these interviews to make sure that they still have a job, right? Because if the recruiter and HR and all these other people don't hold these interviews and they don't say, "Oh, my calendar is semi-full," then they might be out of a job because they might say, "Oh, our recruiting staff is, let's say, 10 people, and if they're only to fill one or two positions, and then they're like, why do we need 10 people? We might as well just let them go." So then they say 4 or 5 interviews. They got all these interviews scheduled. Be like, "Oh, we're still trying to find," because they also know it's economics, right? So everything is like politics and economics related, right? Because every department gets funding. So every department has a certain amount of money to spend, to allocate, to do stuff in bigger companies. And then they want to keep themselves in business. So they interview you trying to waste your time to go to, are you applying to a haunted house? Yeah, I did. Yeah. I applied to many haunted houses. And I walked through some of them. It was creepy. So yeah, it's like it's just brutal. And some people don't understand that. It's like, and then they get really frustrated and they're like, "Oh, I had this. It's a game. It's all just a game." Yeah. Yeah, I know. Funny. I appreciate you though, posting stuff in my chat. I like it. Yeah, get interactions. I'm not like, regardless of what people say, I'm always like, yeah, keep posting. It helps me out, you know? People say, why do you support that if they make fun of you? I'm like, just when people take their time and day to like share something, it's just a huge effort. I started like years ago with like YouTube and it was like up and down, up and down. It's just, it just takes time, and the amount of time it takes to like interact is like crazy when it's like I'm super honored to have that. I think some people they have all the attitude because they give the attitude to you and treat you the same way. The same way they will hire you. Same, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy. So it's funny because that you say that because sometimes they're just so entitled and they say um, that they're so entitled that they just think that you own them everything, and you can sell that. You can smell that in an interview. You know, on my team, I can feel in the first 5 minutes if you're going to be somebody that's going to be good working here or not. Would I ever collab with other YouTubers? Sure, I would collab with other YouTubers. Of course, I would. Yeah, it's just try new audiences, collab, see what they got going on. I wouldn't like pay to collab, but if someone wants to collab, of course I would. Yeah, yeah. So it's funny. It's funny when you look at it, right? It's all psychology based. That's why I'm always like reading psychology books and doing all that kind of stuff because that's what it comes down to. How can you sell? How can you persuade? How can you do all that kind of stuff? You just need to do it. You just gotta do it. And that's how. So a friend of mine, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine had always had the next opportunity already lined up when he landed that other one. So he was never really out of the job search um, rhythm, right? Because I talk now to people that have been 20 years. They've been working as like district managers of where was it? They like Popeye's Chicken. They've been regional managers. They've been doing all this kind of stuff. And then they're like, "Oh, how do I job search?" It's like, "Well, how many people have you ever been on LinkedIn?" "Oh, no, I haven't job searched in 15, 20 years. I've been with the company with the same company for so long, and now I'm trying to get out." And I feel like this region is not good or something, and I'm trying to move into a different industry. So then they contact me and say, how do you do it? Like how do you even get the process started? Because once you're like not doing it all the time, you're like once you kind of fall out of the rhythm, it's really hard to get traction. It's like repeat, right? Once you do something a bunch of times, you get really good at it. And if you're not really good at it, like if you do it more and more, you naturally get more good at it. Like going to the gym, making better habits, eating better. Once you're like in the rhythm and you keep doing it, you get better at it, regardless of what you do in life, right? So that's why I try to do YouTube videos every day. Get better at it. Get better at it. Grow my audience. Grow the people I positively influence every day, and trying to impact the world in a positive way before I leave this planet in my humanly form, and try to leave it in a better way than I left it. And the board, it would be a great, awesome collab. Yeah, he's way ahead though. He's like 200, 300,000, like way, way, way ahead. Like way, way, way ahead. And see, this isn't like YouTube isn't like my full-time gig. That's like so I own investment properties. I own this career coaching community. I have social media. I coach people on social media. I do a few different things, and yeah, that's how I know these pump and dumps. How these pump and dump goes because I get these emails all the time. Help us pump this meme coin. I give you $5,000 and some coins. Not interested, thank you. Because then those $5,000 isn't gonna go very long or very far when these lawsuits are starting to trickle in. That ain't gonna go very far. I'm telling you, that ain't going very far. Yeah, that would be a nice collab though. Yeah. So, yeah. Love it. Love, love, love it. Hello. Hello. It's been on for like 3 years, I think. Yeah. Yeah. See, you just do 3 years, you do something better. I'm the repair guy. What's the repair guy doing? Yeah, he's been doing it for 3 years. Yeah, I've been doing it for like way more, but I do it off and on and do it off and on. So now I'm gonna stick with it. So I've been doing it for like months now, I think. Let me check. How long have I been consistently uploading? Like 6 months or so. I think, yeah, I just reached 5,600 followers. Let's see. How long have I been doing it on my analytics? Let's see here. On my studio. Let's see, analytics. Yeah, I've been doing it for let's see. I've been doing it consistently since like June. Not even. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. So this is where. So this is when I started. So this is this is my lifetime revenue. Estimated lifetime revenue for 365 days. So this is, and it's an estimate. So this is where I started doing some posts, and then this is where I started being like consistent. So consistency has been around since like August. So not that long. And over here just nothing. So yeah. Yeah. Would you do YouTube? But I'm fearful of trolls. Why are you fearful of trolls? Just trying, you gotta do what you like doing. Like I get trolls, and they don't negatively impact me. If I was a woman though, and there were creepy people in my DM saying I'm gonna like do something or like come and find you or something, I'd be really worried if I did like vlogging style videos or something like that. But you can do TikTok or anything else. Yeah, nowadays some people have some crazy ideas, do some crazy stuff. Do crazy stuff. Yeah. Do crazy unfortunate things. They stream your personal information. Yeah, they do. It's just like nowadays, oh my gosh, the scams out there are just absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. Absolutely crazy. You just gotta protect yourself, you just do whatever you kind of think and then just do that. I always say you should do it. You should just do it. It's not, once you get over the fear of it, or just start posting on LinkedIn more, that's one way. Build your professional network. Just build up on that. And just build your personal brand on LinkedIn. Yeah. Yeah. That's a short, easy way of doing it. Yeah, what else you guys got going on? What else? Yeah, but YouTube isn't my main thing. I'm trying to build the biggest job search networking community in the world. That's what I'm trying to do. Like at least in the United States. This is gonna be. I'm hoping to have it inspire the most amount of people so that they get the right tools, the right way of applying, and we can change like how people apply with good resumes, project portfolios, so that makes it easier and hire on people. Um, then helps people. Are you helping more people? What do you mean if I'm helping more people? That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah. So right now we're helping about 80 people. So we'll see. We will see. It's gonna be an interesting journey because I've seen so many bad resumes. I've seen so many bad people interview, and yeah, if we can help them out, if we can just help a fraction out of all these people, it's gonna be world changing, right? Maybe the new job searching platform LinkedIn is oversaturated. Yeah, LinkedIn is never like LinkedIn ruined job searching, right? I said that like the other day. LinkedIn is just, it's like if Indeed and Facebook had a baby, that would be LinkedIn. Where people now post not even about relevant content. It's just about their kids, their new car they got, and it's just like they post videos, they post everything. It became to be just like Facebook, a more censored version of Facebook. So let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Do people say you are a talkative person? Depends on who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to you guys, I need to be talking, or I'd be just sitting in the dark by myself. But if you'd meet me, not really, not really. I'm a real I would say I'm a real curious person. To use it for dating, yeah, I know people. And I read an article in China that said Tinder people are using Tinder to find jobs. Popcorn Fury. Do people say you're a talkative person? I don't know. Not really. Like if you met me, maybe if you're ever in Las Vegas, buy you lunch at a better place than Subway. At a better place than Subway. I'll say that. I'll say that. Yeah. Yeah. It's, you know, that's just how it goes. But you gotta have interactions. When you do lives, you gotta keep talking to people, or it's gonna be like really boring and nobody's gonna zoom in and tend to leave. So you gotta do something. You gotta be doing something. You gotta be interacting your audience. Yeah, I can. Yeah. So I'm actually having my team work while I'm just talking to you guys, but I'm not always monitoring messages. So I think I'm gonna have to cap it at an hour. So 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes and 3 more, and then I'm gonna. What's an hour on live? I should do these way more often. Get people interacting with each other. I love it. Get people chit chatting, seeing what they gotta say. Have funny conversations. I don't know what that was about pancakes, but I love when people just say random stuff. So, yeah, if you guys have nothing else, then we are gonna zoom out of here and get some real work done. It is now 7:30 on the East Coast, and continuing claims went down today. Yeah, or people dropped out, right? It's it's one of the two. It's one of the two. That's what I always say. Could be that people got jobs, or could be that people stopped qualifying. So, if you guys have any right on that, what? Send me an email. Peppercorn Fury. Go in about section. Send me an email. Oh, I gotta get going. I am tired and I gotta keep on working. My team is asking for support. So I gotta get back to work at 5 o'clock, 4:30. This is so funny when people tell me, oh, being an entrepreneur, you tell people what to do. Yeah, and I work after hours so we can keep the ball rolling. It's the beauty of entrepreneurship that nobody says. And then 2 years down the line, you're an overnight success. So I appreciate you guys for watching so much. I really do. I think I read all the comments. How many hours of work a day, a week? I work 7 days a week, and sometimes, well, what do you consider work, right? It's I like doing it, so I do it a lot. But I try to stick to, I think, 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day working. So I'll tell you exactly what I do. So I work from about, um, I wake up at about 4:30ish. From 4 to 5, I'll drink coffee. At 5 o'clock, I start checking my emails and start doing YouTube comments, start looking at for coaching for people that I have people that I coach on social media on how to do it. Then I also film my YouTube videos in the morning as like my lunch break, like kind of like I need some way of just walking. That's how I kind of started it. So, and that starts at like 7, 8ish. I go out and do that, come back, and then I have another cup of coffee, and then I keep working, checking my stuff. Opni X, how's it going? So then at 12, I switch over to the career coaching side, and I work. That's where also my team starts working at 12. And so from 12 to 8 o'clock, I work on this other side. And then after, if I have other clients that need help, I'm longer than that. So it's probably longer than 12. But then I have Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, probably about 12, 13. Who is OpniX? Who's that? Who is that? Who is that? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's nice or not. Like it's whatever you want to do. Other people go play golf. I film YouTube videos and help people grow on social media. It's like my hobby, so I don't really look at that as work. Yeah. Well, it's been over the hour. If nobody has any questions, but yeah, you can always shoot me an email and we can make videos or do whatever. Just go in the about section of our profile and just shoot me an email or connect with me on LinkedIn. Well, I'm gonna zoom out of here. I gotta get going. Yeah, I really gotta do it. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Like I said, thanks for all the comments, all the love you guys have. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys. Bye. Bye, Saniel. Bye.